guys, welcome to my first video on my channel. I'm sitting in front of my bookshelf. I only have one. As you guys know, I'm not like a booktuber or anything of that sort at all. I would like to add yet, because I would love to become one, because I've recently discovered reading and it's really turned my life around. And if I can inspire more people my age to start reading, I really think it would have such a positive impact on your life, and I would love to do that. But I don't really know about, I know I've watched a lot of videos from Booktube before, but I don't know how welcoming the community is. I have no idea. But anyway, let's not get into this. This is my measly little bookshelf. These are all the books that I currently have, which is not a lot of them. And I'm building my collection, but to be quite honest, up there are all my mortal instruments. You can't see them yet. Those I've had or started on collecting from like 5 years ago, but most of all these other books I've gotten over the past month. So I've been building at it very quickly, but I'm gonna have to slow down a little because I went a little bit crazy. But today I'm going to talk about a little book that I read, which is called The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I wanted to do like a book talk review of this book, but it's not going to be one of those super professional ones. I don't have any notes or anything in here, but I just finished it yesterday. I read it within 2 days and I wanted to share my thoughts on it. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. So this is spoilery. It's gonna just be a discussion. I want to hear your guys' opinion on everything. And I actually already have the second part of it right here, which is called The Dream Thieves. And basically what I wanted to share was, am I gonna read the second part? I am, because I already have it, but I bought them both before I started. Basically because I'm very guilty of buying books because I like them better in series for how they look. So I'm guilty of buying 2 books in a series, or even 3 books in a series, before I've even started it, before I even know if I like it, just because I think it looks good. So same goes for my Lady Midnight, Queen of Air and Darkness books, which I have the other one too, but it is a smaller version of it, which I hate. But anyway, I have all 3 books and I haven't read them yet, so I don't know how about that, if that's like a normal thing. But anyway, let's get into this. So The Raven Boys, I'm gonna put it right here because I've seen people do that and it's very pleasing to look at. I did break the spine, by the way. I love doing that with paperbacks. I don't know, it makes them look ugly, but it also makes them look worn, and I like that. I'm very much into that whole old style and everything. So anyway, let's have a little bit of a discussion about this. So this book is about a girl called Blue, who is the only one in her family who is not a psychic. Everyone in her family is a psychic except for her. Except she kind of functions as this battery that when she is around psychics, she makes their energy more profound. It makes readings clearer. It just kind of raises the energy of anything, you know, psychic or I guess supernatural going on. So she doesn't really know what she is exactly, but she knows that about herself. She's kind of sad about the fact that she can't see or experience things the same way that her family can. And in this book, she starts to experience those things as well. And there's one thing that she does know, is that every single psychic she's ever run into has predicted to her that if she kisses her true love, he will die. And it says that on the cover of it as well, so I'm not too afraid to say that. And so this is the year that she's going to fall in love and her true love is going to die. So that's everything that I'm going to be able to say without spoiling everything, and now I'm going to get into my little discussion of it. So what I expected from the book when I started it was that this is going to be that whole year. In this book that it's going to happen. She's going to kiss her true love and he's going to die. So that didn't happen. So I think probably by the end of the whole trilogy that's going to happen. I'm not really quite sure. But in this book that doesn't happen yet, which I kind of thought was a little bit of a letdown. Also, by the way, I prefer holding it. I prefer having it in my hands when I talk about it. It took me like 200 pages before I started to get invested in the story. I think it has a lot to do with the way it's written. It was very descriptive and it had a lot of like details and, you know, laying groundwork, I guess, to be able to build upon later. But it took me to like 2/3 of the book before I started to feel like, oh, now it's picking up. Things are happening. I'm getting invested. Like now I want to know what's going on. And yeah, I really had to get through this first part, and initially I even doubted if I was going to finish it, if I was going to put it down or not, because I really didn't enjoy my reading experience. But I would 100% recommend you to push through and try to get through those 100, 200 pages before it starts to get really interesting. So what I like about this story is that it's intricate. So I have no idea what's happening. I have no idea what's going on. It's not very predictable at all. I really like that. So that gets me very invested, because I just love books that I can't predict. If I already know what's going to happen, I don't like that. So the one thing I don't like about the story is the fact that, you know, this guy's gonna die already, and they already know that, they know the outcome. So I'm really hoping that in the end, don't spoil it for me because I only read this one yet, but I'm really hoping in the end that it doesn't turn out to be like that. But I don't know, I really like unexpected stuff better than things that I expected. So I love the fact that you have to be paying attention to it to understand what's going on. The whole Glendower thing, I'm really liking the whole like Welsh kind of influence in this, mainly because I really love the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare, which of course had Will, who is also Welsh. So I'm kind of, you know, in love with the whole Welsh culture kind of a thing. So I like that, you know, showed up in here. The only thing I don't really like about the whole magic and stuff in here is that I really like a universe with rules. So that's why I love Harry Potter, and that's why I love the Mortal Instruments, because there's this universe and there's these clear boundaries and rules to the magic. They have a build-up, a construction, I would like to say, of how the magic works and how everything adheres to that, right? So I really love that. That's also why the new Crimes of Grindelwald movies, for example, really anger me, because they're not, you know, keeping to the rules. Like, they're casting spells without even casting spells. They're just like shooting out of their wands, and I don't like it because they're not adhering to this, like, you know, rule book. I love rule books. And with this book, I didn't really have the feeling that there was any. It was just like random magic that wasn't really explained. It just didn't make... It makes it less realistic. I love magical realism, so I love Lord of the Rings because there's actual languages that you can learn. There's, you know, it has some sort of a foundation that it rests on, and with this book I really didn't have that same feeling for it. What I do like is the characters a lot. They have a lot of depth. And especially what I really liked about Blue was that she's not this character. I feel like a lot of books have these characters that are portrayed as, well, she's this girl that's not like any other girls, and that's why they love her. And it just makes this weird kind of a, like, feeling that as a girl you have to be different than other girls in order to be found special. It gets this, like, it feeds into this like rivalry between girls that, you know, you experience all around you in life. Like, I want to be the most special, I'm different than you, I'm better, whatever. And in this book, Blue is actually kind of criticized a little bit because she's this very eccentric character, but she's not really. She wants to come across as eccentric, so she puts a lot of effort into coming across as eccentric. So I really like that because it makes me feel like it's such a real character. Like, she's an actual girl, she's an actually human who cares about how she comes across. And I just think that's so real. I don't know, I like that so much. So my favorite character, however, is not Blue. My favorite character is Noah, and I want to know if you guys feel me on this if you've read this book. So Noah apparently turns out not to be life. I don't really remember how he was described in the book, how he looked, but in my mind I just imagined him as this like really nerdy, super skinny guy with like half long hair to like here. That's just kind of how I imagined him, in like a gray shirt that's too big for him. And he's just the sweetest. I don't know. He already died, but he kind of knows that, kind of doesn't. It doesn't really become clear because he says it a few times, like, I've been dead for 7 years, but then at another point they have this discussion and he doesn't really remember, so it's weird. I don't know. That's like the thing I didn't really enjoy. Like, it doesn't seem to adhere to rules as much as I'd love it to, but or like I don't like any inconsistencies, you guys. I don't know, that's why I'm like such a harsh critic of those kind of things. I don't like my inconsistency. So yeah, anyway, but I don't know, he was just, I could feel all this emotion about him, this fact that he feels like he's lost control, or you know, and and he wants to help so much. He's like such a genuine, nice person. You can just feel this like warmth radiating off him, even though he's freaking cold. But you know what I mean? Like I really, really like that. I also really like Gansey because it kind of reminds me of myself, like this old soul kind of a feeling. Like I love Baroque. I don't know if you can tell, but over here too, I don't know, there's such a mess in my room because I'm moving, but I have like old globes and Roman statues, and here too I have all this neoclassical art and everything. These are all vintage pieces, and I just love my vintage stuff. And so when it comes to that, I really, you know, related to him. I love that whole old soul kind of a person, and I also like the fact that he has this outer shell that people think he's really, you know, arrogant and whatever, which people seem to think about me as well. So to that point, I really related to him, and I loved him as a character, that he has layers. Like I feel like a lot of characters can be very worked out, but he's actually this character that portrays in a different way than he is. I like that, 2 characters in one, basically. A character that I didn't really like was Adam. I don't know, I never felt this. He has a bit of a relationship with Blue, and I've never felt that connection. I didn't know why they were having this relationship. It just didn't really, I don't know. It doesn't feel like me, like, oh my god, I can feel this like chemistry between them. I didn't. Ronan and Lynch, I believe, I'm so bad with names. They're brothers. Their dad died mysteriously. Ronan knows why, which also is the reason that he's kind of this really effed up person. I feel like we haven't gotten to see much of him in this book, except just him being moody and mean and everything. Except for the Raven, he's taken care of, which is really cute and nice. So I feel like that's just a character that I'd love to see a bit more of. I think that he wasn't portrayed enough for my liking. I just want to know why he's so conflicted. I love reading about conflicted souls and people going through pain and why they're being the way that they are. And I'm really hoping in the next books you get a lot more depth into him, except for just being like a snarky kind of a person. So yeah, overall, it took me a while to get into this. I really liked it. I really liked the ending of it. I like Adam's stubbornness, that he doesn't want to give the reins of his life to anyone else but himself. He wants to be in control of his life, and that's why he makes the decision in the end that he makes, which I really liked. I don't really understand how he's supposed to sacrifice himself, but he's still there. I feel like Glendower is in him right now, but I'm not sure. There's a lot about this book that is still mysterious, and I still don't understand, which I love that, because that motivates me so much to keep reading, because I want to know. So it's very intriguing. It's just, I guess, the writing style you have to get through for a little bit, but yeah, I really liked it. So that was my little book talk. This was my first ever book talk. Don't be too harsh on me. I'm not good at this. It's my first. I mean, a lot of people who do this, I've done this for years, and they really know how to build up one of these videos, but please cut me some slack. I really enjoyed reading this though, and I'm going to get into this one today. I'm going to read this tonight after I finished editing this video, so I'm really excited about it. It's also a little bit bigger than the other one. I'm going to buy the third one as well, so you can expect another update after I read this one. I love doing these. Yeah, I'm going to be doing videos on books that I finished, like book wrap-ups, recommendations, books that I didn't like, everything like that. But it's going to take a little bit because I'm just building my collection right now, and it's going to take a while before I get to that. But yes, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope that you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, rate to my channel. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you later. Bye!